Hey guys, Chelsea here, and in this video I want to talk to you about assumptions. The first part of assumptions I want to talk to you about is putting things near each other, or if you've heard the word before, juxtaposition. The idea is, if you see two things next to each other that don't seem very related, there is almost certainly an agenda going on over there. They are probably trying to get you to make an assumption about cause, right? We've talked a lot about cause in the past couple worksheets. So, one thing causing another. That's sort of an idea. Let's look at this. Last year, this county added a new book to the summer reading list. 12 teachers resigned before the school year ended. Well, those two things don't seem inherently related. But if we think about the causation statement that's suggested or implied here, it is that adding that new book caused those 12 teachers to resign, right? That sort of is the suggestion, because we talk about, oh, well, there was a new book added, and then we talk about the teachers resigned. Okay, so, well, the first thing caused the second thing, right? Yeah, obviously now that doesn't make any sense. Teachers like books and stuff, like why would they quit because of the adding a new book? It doesn't make any sense. It rings all the bells, right? We have this whole idea, okay, this definitely it's gotta be wrong, right? And that's great, because in this case, you remember we talked about small truths telling a big lie? That's kind of the idea here, right? Sure, maybe a new book was added to the reading list, maybe 12 teachers resigned, but the one thing didn't cause the other thing. And so there's no reason to put these two sentences one right after the other, unless you are trying to pretend that there was a cause, that the one thing did cause the other, right? Now notice, again, these two statements, totally true, small truths. At no point do they actually come out with this lie. They don't say the new book actually caused it, the resignations. But it is implied. It is ideal for them if you assume it, right? So it's the implication or the assumption. That's kind of what we're getting at in this video. Alright, let's take a look at another one. This one's a little bit harder, a little bit trickier. So, turn on your ninja brain. Last year, the county cut our teachers' salaries. We lost 12 teachers. Alright, so the if-then, idea, the causation idea here is, okay, if you cut teacher salaries, then you will lose teachers, right? That makes sense? And that's the big problem there, is that makes sense, right? That's the issue. Sometimes assumptions seem real sane, and you're sitting here and you're thinking, gosh, yeah, if somebody cut my salary, I might quit. I don't know, it seems kind of reasonable, I guess. That's where it's gonna get really, really tricky. But here's the thing, there are still so many bells that get rung here, right? It should set off all of the warning alarms, because they don't give you any real details. They don't tell you how much the salary was cut. Because obviously, if it wasn't cut that much, well then, maybe people are not going to quit over it. They use this really weird word, lost, right? Lost could mean a lot of things. Lost could mean that they retired, and maybe they were already planning to retire. Lost could mean that they just moved to a different county, and it had nothing to do with the salaries at all. Lost could mean that they passed away, right? They died. That wasn't a planned thing. They didn't do that on purpose because of the salaries. So, a lot of this phrasing is very vague. And that's going to be a really, really big clue. But the biggest clue here, is that they don't ever come out and directly say, the cuts in salaries caused us to lose these teachers. And if they're not going to come out and say it, if they're going to try to make you assume something, then they definitely have an agenda over there. And that's the kind of stuff that you're going to want to look for. You're going to want to think about what was directly actually said, and then start to think about some of these other details. The word lost, the word cut, the lack of technical numerical data over here, right? And that's the kind of stuff that's going to happen in the ninja brain over the next couple worksheets. Ready, set, go.